Alright, we're about to play some dark, fast metal riffs, and we're going to use a technique called tremolo picking. I've got a few exercises that I want you to go through that's going to help you nail this technique down, but there's a few things that I want to share with you first, a few tips really quick. That's really going to help you build stamina and more accuracy when you're playing this technique. So first of all, tremolo picking is basically just fast alternate picking. A lot of times we're just hanging on one note, something like this. We're just picking back and forth, alternate picking fast, again, hanging usually on just one note at a time. So one thing you may notice, and this is kind of the difference between down picking and alternate picking, is the angle of your pick. When you're playing downstrokes, you may notice, like, watch the natural angle of my pick. When you're playing downstrokes, you may notice that your pick may be naturally angled in this direction here, kind of going towards the neck, not like that way, not in an extreme sense, but it's just sort of angled in that direction, going this way here. Now, when you alternate pick, and of course this is the same for tremolo picking, but when you alternate pick, you'll notice, well, watch the, if you can see the pick, watch, and I'll explain after I play this little riff here. Okay, so my pick is, you may not be able to see it in the video, but it's kind of angled towards really the volume knobs here. It's going in that direction. So what that means is when you're going from down picking over to alternate picking, it's almost like you're turning a switch. It's like your key is in the door or in your car or whatever, and you're just gently turning it just a little bit in a slightly different direction from this to this. So that's not something that you really have to force. It's just something I want you to notice and be aware of. The reason I say that is because sometimes we notice ourselves like doing something a little different. You're like, wait a minute, I'm picking this direction, so I need to force it in that direction when I alternate pick too. Go with what your hands are naturally gravitating towards. I'm a big believer in this. Your body will tell you what direction to go. So again, as you notice that your hands are naturally gravitating, that angle is just a natural angle when you play downstrokes versus alternate pick. Just be okay with that and go with it. Now, the second thing you'll notice is oftentimes, not all the time, but there's a light palm mute. So I'm lightly laying my palm, of course, you guys know what palm muting is, but I'm lightly laying my palm across the bridge here. But it's not like a full-on palm mute like we think when we're playing like thrash metal riffs. It's more of, again, it's just a very light mute. So I don't have a full palm mute. It's just laying just gently right across the bridge there. Now, you don't have to palm mute at all. This is not like a requirement or anything. You may just, not palm mute, play a riff like this. But you'll hear just a slight difference if I just do that gentle palm mute. So very subtle difference, but what happens is when you do that light palm mute, things are just a little bit tighter. Now when you're jamming in your room by yourself, you may not palm mute at all. It's like, okay, that sounds cool. But if you throw it into the mix with the full band, you might find that light palm mute just brings everything together and everything's just a little bit tighter. Now the last thing real quick, then we'll get to the exercises, is that as a metal guitar player, you might have a tendency to just pour that aggression out onto your instrument. There's nothing wrong with that, but what I will challenge at this point, especially with this specific technique, is to actually try a lighter approach, especially if you have trouble with this technique or really just playing metal guitar, playing fast in general. Because what happens is when we put more aggression into it, we kind of tense up. And if you've ever noticed when you're trying to do something that's kind of meticulous, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it just requires your full attention, but when you try too hard, things kind of fall apart. Well, that can happen easily with guitar, not to mention you can wear yourself out. So my approach to playing guitar in general, and this isn't like, again, this isn't like a right or wrong thing, this is just, how I do things that may or may not work for you, but I kind of back off of my approach. Doesn't mean you can't get into your playing and can't like look aggressive. You can certainly do that if you're on stage or whatever, but as far as your physical approach to the instrument, I would try backing off just a little bit, and what you'll find is you don't have to put near as much effort into playing. Things get a little tighter, your accuracy improves, so it's definitely something to try if you have trouble with stamina or with timing and accuracy. Try just backing off. Here's riff number 1. All we're doing here, this is very simple. I'm in standard tuning. I'm picking, tremolo picking the open E string. Then we go frets 7, 8, then 4, 5. That's it. So open, 7, 8, open, 4, 5. Open, 7, 8, and then that second time around I just play the power chords. So let's play that together. And if you want to pause the video and just practice that riff over and over, keep practicing that until you really get it down, everything sounds tight. Remember, if things are kind of sounding loose or maybe the timing's off a little bit, of course you can practice this to a metronome or a drum track or whatever, but if things sort of feel off, I would tighten up the palm mute just a little bit, but not too much. And again, remember, back off the aggression a little bit. Remember the pick angle. You know, those things will really help bring things together. The second riff, of course, that was just on the E string there. The second riff, I want to go over to the A string, play some higher notes. So I'll play it one time through, we'll explain it, and then you and I will play this together. Alright, so we're on the A string for this one, playing some higher notes, and we're really getting into like the black metal territory here, which sounds really cool. So we're on frets, A string, frets 7, 10, 9, then we go 6, and then we play the power chords, the E power chord followed by an E flat power chord. So the notes again. So let's go through this a few times together. And again, you can play along, you know, we jam with that together, pause the video, practice that, but you can play along with a metronome, or even better, if you have like a drum program in your DAW, something like Easy Drummer, Tune Track, or sometimes I play with the Crim drums from Bagra Digital. If you can find just a really cool like blast beat or like a double bass beat, something like that. Now, what I'll say to this, we got one more riff to play. What I'll say to this though is don't try to practice this too slow. In other words, I don't want you doing this. I don't want you doing that. I want you to go ahead and pedal. You know, get that mindset of like, okay, we're just kind of going back and forth pedaling. Again, don't try to practice this slow because it's just not going to come out right. This is one of those things where you just had to kind of jump into it. I learned to swim by being thrown into the pool. Somebody threw me in the pool and I just came up dog paddling. That's kind of what you have to do here. You just have to kind of just jump into it and just trust yourself. You're going to be just fine. Just start doing it. All right, so this next riff, we're going to go across multiple strings, just 2 strings here, nothing overly complex, but I just want you to practice going back and forth because this is where things can get a little challenging. Okay, Okay, so we're going back and forth between the E and A strings here. I'm starting out on the A string 7th fret. So we're alternate picking that. Then I go over to the E string and play the 6th fret, followed by the 5th fret. And then we go back to where we started from on the A string 7th fret. And I just land on the 6th fret right after that. So it's this. Alright, let's play this a few times together. Now, what you may have noticed is I actually did a little bit more palm muting on that one just to tighten things up a little bit. It can be a little challenging going back and forth between two strings, alternate picking like that, the fast tremolo picking. So just be aware of that. And I'll say this too, don't allow yourself to get frustrated with this. Just take breaks when you need to and then just come back to it. You'll nail this down. You're probably nailing it down already. Now, a couple quick things I want to share. And these are just like personal preferences for me, but I want to share them with you. But real quick, before I do that, if you don't have my free practice guide, Metal Riffs and Licks, grab a copy of that. I give this away to all my YouTube subscribers, so grab a copy of that. There's a link in the description. If you have that and videos like this help you, then hey, consider joining the Jason Stallworth Guitar Academy. I'd love to see you in there. Links for both are in the description of this video. This wouldn't be complete without me showing you what pick I use and of course how I hold my pick. Now, this is absolutely personal. This is the pick you should use or shouldn't use. This is not how you should hold your pick or shouldn't hold your pick. So first of all, I use the Dunlap Max Grip picks. This is the 1.14. Now, I've got an older video on tremolo picking for beginners. I did it probably, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe even 5 years ago, and I was using .88s at that time. The funny thing is when I first started playing guitar back in like the early 90s, I think I started like technically in 1989, but I used really thin guitar picks, .60, for the longest time, for like decades. And then one day a buddy of mine sent me a bunch of picks in the mail. I was like, man, you need to try some, thicker guitar picks. So I did. I didn't like most of them, but somehow I went up to .88. Then I went right to 1.0. I'm like, okay, well this kind of feels cool. And then for some reason I bought a pack of 1.14s and 1.5s. And the 1.5s, my hands just got tired. Let me show you this real quick because I still have some of these. There we go. No editing, no fancy editing on that one. But these are the Dunlop Max Grip 1.5s. And every now and then I'll break these out and play with them, but honestly, my hands just get tired with these picks. So I play with the 1.14s. Now, I know many metal guitarists, especially those that play in bands in like the black metal genre and melodic death metal, they use much thicker guitar picks. Actually, I was talking with a guitarist of the black metal band in Tampa here called Pontifex. Really cool folks, really cool band, and I think he plays with like a 3.0 or something like that. That might work better for you. I will say this, and I'm spending a lot of time on guitar picks, but I've gone through several over the years, just different gauges, but I like to keep things simple for me, and keeping things simple is having one guitar pick for just guitar in general. So I don't use different guitar picks for acoustic. You guys know I play acoustic solo shows like about 6 to 8, sometimes 10 a month, and I use this same guitar pick, the same gauge for acoustic as well. So I just want something that I felt comfortable with using for electric, for playing metal, for playing rock, for playing acoustic, whatever. So I don't have to worry about, oh, well, I need a special pick for this guitar. Now again, that's just me. I'm a simple man like Skinner, but I just like to keep things really, really simple. So that's just how my mind works. But you might want thicker guitar picks, just know that. The other thing real quick is I hold my pick a little differently. A lot of people hold their picks with their thumb and their first finger like that. But I actually hold mine with 2 fingers here on this side and my thumb on that side. But I don't want you to get too hung up on that. What I always encourage you to do is allow yourself to gravitate towards what feels most natural and what feels most comfortable to you, especially when playing guitar. And this is sort of like a life lesson too, if you want to go that route with it. You know, a lot of times we're fighting against things that we really don't have to fight against. Just allow things to flow, and again, let your hands gravitate towards what feels most natural to you. You can try different things, but just because I say something works for me, it doesn't mean it will work for you, okay? Or if this famous guitar player or that famous person or whatever, if they say, well, this is the way you're supposed to do it, but it doesn't work for you, then you know what? That's not the way you're supposed to do it. So again, you guys know I'm all about you being your own guitar player, you developing your own style, and just having your own way of doing things. Music is emotional. Music is not something that's programmed or calculated. It's not a math equation. It's something that you create, and it's a part of who you are. It's like an extension of who you are. So in any case, I hope this video helps you. Remember to check the links out in the description here. As always, keep it metal and keep playing music.